Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's BBCan 10 updates and spoilers. Happy eviction day. Woo! Our house guests of the day are Christine Caruso and Luke Bright. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so, so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. And I want to thank yesterday's super chatters because that is another fantastic way to support our channel. Travel K and Jefferson Tucker, thank you so much as always. We really do appreciate it. And I hope everybody's having a great day so far. Unfortunately, I can't see the live chat right now for some reason, which is a real pain in the butt because I want to see what everybody's saying. But hopefully, Mom will be able to tell me what you guys are up to when she comes back in later. All right, let's get started. When we left off yesterday, we've got Betty and Herman up on the block. We had two main storylines here that we were looking at. Number one, it's looking like Herman is going to be leaving by a vote of 6-1, or at least that's what it looked like yesterday. We'll see if that changes. But the one vote for Herman to stay would be Moose. But Herman doesn't realize how set these votes kind of are at this point. He's focusing his campaign efforts on Josh because he thinks he already has the Showmance and Moose locked in, which would be 3. He would just need Josh, which would make it 4. He doesn't have the Showmance locked in. But Herman was just frustrated in general that he was having to work so hard in the first place. He's like, I've been loyal to people this whole time. I haven't really stabbed people in the back. I thought that I would have people's votes. He's especially frustrated with Summer because he's got a flirt man's going with her. He thought he would for sure have her vote. So that's one storyline. The other storyline, almost everyone is trying to get a deal going with the Showmance right now, which is just insanity to me. So we saw the Honey Bunch is kind of resurrecting with the Showmance, Summer, and Josh. There is a Final 4 brewing with Kevin and Helena. They already had a Final 5 with the 4 of them and Marty, but Kevin and Helena want to kind of cut Marty out of the picture, crop him out of the photo, and keep it to just the 4 of them. Excuse me. And then Betty and Josh are also trying to get a Final 4 deal with the Showmance. And I have to say, the Showmance seems the most excited about working with Betty and Josh. It seems like they want to make that happen. Is everyone forgetting that they should probably break the Showmance up if they want a chance to win this thing? I mean, really. But people don't seem too concerned with that right now, and I think that's probably a mistake. But anyway, there was some drama yesterday. Drama, ooh. And it involved the Showmance. Kevin, JC Lynn, and Helena were studying the days on the upstairs couches. And Helena brought up that earlier she went to go check on JC Lynn because she wanted to make sure that JC Lynn was okay. And JC Lynn says, I needed to remove myself from the situation because I was drained, but I'm dealing with it. What's going on here? So Kevin asks the important question, what happened? And JC Lynn says, just annoying things. Apparently, Gino was helping Summer stretch earlier, and he had his hands on Summer's lower back, and JC Lynn was not happy about this. So JC Lynn says, it's like Summer wants me to throw hands. And if you're an old lady like me, throwing hands means fighting. So she says, I think Summer is testing me. Summer does this on purpose with Gino. She wants me to self-evict by hitting someone. And I'm not going to do that. So I remove myself from those situations. She's too much. Maybe also you should be upset with Gino, right? I mean, he's the one that you're laying with or whatever. Be upset with Gino, not Summer. So the feeds cut away from this conversation, which is unfortunate because we love the drama, right? But anyway, the feeds went down not long after that as the episode aired. And when they came back, Helena and JC Lynn, by the way, the drama is going to come again. It's going to come back again later. So don't worry. But when the feeds came back, Helena and JC Lynn are chatting in the bathroom. And Helena is telling her about a conversation that she had with Herman. Now, I just want to note, Herman has been saying that he's not going to bother campaigning to Helena or Kevin because they are so close to Marty. They're so closely linked to him at this point. He feels like he's got no shot at getting their votes, so he's not even going to bother. So apparently, Herman said to Helena, I hope you don't find it disrespectful, but I'm not going to waste my time pitching to you. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. But Helena says, yeah, that's all fine. But then she says she finds it disrespectful that Herman has classified her in this game as a floater. She says, I'm not a floater. I've been trying my best in every competition. There are other people that haven't won comps either. I'm not a floater. Helena, you're a floater. You are like the textbook definition of a floater. You've been playing the middle. You've been floating to power every week. You've been moving in between different alliances. It's not a bad strategy. There's nothing wrong with playing a floater game. The big problem here, again, people confuse the term floater with the term coaster. Coasters make me sad. They just coast through the game. They don't, not only are they not winning competitions, which is not a big deal, but they're not playing a social game. They're not trying to influence things behind the scenes. So that's a coaster. But Helena is very upset about being called a floater. So she's ranting about it. And then she tells JC Lynn, you're my number one. How many people has Helena said that to this season? Because she's a floater. But JC Lynn reciprocates. She says, yeah, you're my number one too. Over Gino. I'm not gonna lie. I do think it's possible that JC Lynn would cut Gino right at the end and take the other person because she knows there's a good chance if she goes to the end with Gino, everyone's just gonna be like, oh, Gino, he did all the work. Like I'm gonna vote for him to win. Which honestly, I don't think it's true. JC Lynn and Gino, neither of them are like fantastic players. But I feel like JC Lynn actually does more of the strategizing in that duo than Gino does. So she's going to want to make sure she gets credit for that. So then Helena is telling JC Lynn, oh, like we should be a 4 with Kevin and Gino, without Marty, get him out of here. So this is something that Helena and Kevin have talked about pitching to Gino and JC Lynn. So Helena's trying to plant those seeds in there. They talk about this week's vote and they confirm they are both still leaning towards voting out Herman. They feel like it's better for both of their games. And I would agree with that. So then Marty joins them and Marty is still paranoid that Betty has a secret power because she was in the diary room again. Oh my God. Anytime Betty gets called to the diary room, Marty's just gonna be like, she has a secret power. Got to get her out of here. She's got a power. So Marty says, if Betty uses her power like during the eviction and she comes off the block, I'm going to put Moose up there. But he says he still wants Herman to go if it's Herman versus Moose. So they're like, okay, sounds good. And Helena's like, watch Betty not even have a secret power. Right? Because she doesn't. Okay, so then a little later, Herman and Summer are in the red bedroom and they are sharing an extended horizontal hug. It's the only way I can describe it. And Herman is telling her, you could still vote to keep me. You could change the trajectory of the game. Like, it's up to you. I just need you. You can do this. You can help me. Summer seems pretty set on keeping Betty still. She doesn't say anything in response to Herman being like, you could keep me, you could change it. She's just like, so they hung out for a while last night and Herman was trying to do his pitch of like, I can get you far into this game. I will be a shield for you. All the same stuff that we've been hearing him say the last few days, but I don't think it's going anywhere. I think Summer was just trying to enjoy her final evening with Herman still in the house because they've had, like I said, a bit of a flirtmance. But yeah, meanwhile, Betty is chatting with Moose in the beach room. And Moose was kind of frustrated earlier in the day because Betty had not campaigned to him yet. Betty knows that Moose has been campaigning for Herman to stay. And she was nervous that if she did campaign to Moose, she would like give him some ammunition to use against her. And then, maybe that vote would flip. It wouldn't be so good for her. But Betty lets Moose know, I'm not going to campaign to you full throttle. I know you've been campaigning hard for your boy, and I just want you to know there won't be any bad blood between us over this moving forward. There are no qualms. I love the word qualms. It's so interesting. But anyway, Betty lets Moose know, I'm cool with you voting for Herman to stay. I'm not coming after you. It's all good. So Moose says he feels like Betty is probably staying this week, and he's cool with that. He says, I want to continue to work with you. Betty brings up, yeah, she didn't vote for Moose to stay last week, and he welcomed her with open arms. He was really cool about it. So Betty says, I feel like we're good, even if we're not totally on the same page, because Betty has heard that Moose wants to get rid of floaters, people that haven't been winning competitions. So there's always going to be a little bit of weirdness between these two because of what happened during Jess's HOH week when Jess told Betty, oh, Moose said you should go up on the block because you don't deserve to be here. So they were just kind of ironing out some stuff with all that. So Moose says, if I win HOH, I would not put you up, even as a pawn. He also says something interesting here. He's like, I'm not for sure voting for Herman to stay. He's honest. He's like, in a perfect world, if it looked like he had the votes, yeah, I would love for Herman to stay. Nothing against Betty. And Betty appreciated his honesty. But Moose says this vote for Herman is not guaranteed. Last week when Moose was up on the block, Herman didn't campaign for him, didn't help him. Moose had to do it all by himself. And Herman didn't even vote for him to stay. So he's like, I'm not obligated to vote for Herman to stay. So just keep that in mind. All right. So Moose kept asking Betty, do you want to know how I'm voting before? Like, do you want me to tell you? And she's like, no. You don't even need to tell me. Don't worry about it. And he kept asking. She's like, no, don't worry about it. So she makes it clear she's fine with Moose voting either way. He doesn't have to worry about it. So it seems like they both felt pretty good with each other after that conversation. I think there was a little bit of weirdness between them, but I think this combo really helped work things out. Okay, so later, the Showmance drama rages on. So Summer was like hugging Gino from behind at the dining table. Like they're both sitting at the table, and she was like all over him. And Herman, Kevin, Josh, and Moose were also all sitting there hanging out. And JC Lynn is like looking over from the kitchen, what's going on over there. And the guys are like laughing and joking about JC Lynn being pissed about what Summer's doing. So they're kind of poking at her here. And Gino is also laughing and saying, Summer, you're going to get me in trouble. I'm going to be sleeping on the couch tonight. And Summer says, really? I'll do whatever I want in this house. And she's like, is there a problem though? I'll do whatever I want with anybody in this house. So then Gino kind of like moves away from Summer and moves closer to Kevin. Again, like they're all joking around, laughing. And Summer's like, my bad. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Unless this is your girlfriend, I can do whatever the F I want. There's no reason for her to be jealous. I think at one point someone even was like, what does a showmance equate to like in the real world? And Summer was like, nothing. So the guys in Summer continue to joke around about all this at the table. They're looking over at JC Lynn to see if she's reacting to it. Not good. So a little later, JC Lynn and Kevin are in the storage room. And JC Lynn says, Summer is out of her effing mind. JC Lynn is feeling like she's the butt of the joke here. I'm gonna wait until she gets out and sees how much people were rooting for Summer and Gino to get together. But she says it's embarrassing how Summer is throwing herself at Gino. And JC Lynn's like, I don't want to be a part of that. Kevin is eating all of this up. He loves the drama. So Gino comes in. And it's like really awkward at first. Kevin finishes eating up his tomatoes and then he leaves. So Gino tries to kiss JC Lynn. She pulls away and she's like, that thing with Summer is very annoying. And Gino's like, oh, I know. It's not me doing it. He may not be the one initiating it, but he seems to enjoy it. And I've heard him say multiple times, like, oh, do you think JC Lynn's jealous? Like, he definitely wants JC Lynn to be jealous. It's kind of like this weird thing. I don't know if he's like into that. I don't know. But JC Lynn says, there is something that you could do about it. You don't need to make it like a big thing, but there are things that you could do to make this stop. And she says Summer can do whatever she wants, but like, don't try and bring me into it. I think it really tipped her over the edge when all the guys were like laughing and like looking for a reaction from her. So she says, I'm not interested in being the butt of the joke because of Summer's weird behavior. So Gino's like, I get it. And JC Lynn says, I will uninvolve myself if it's going to be like that, especially since this is on TV. So Gino says he's sorry, which was quickly followed by, even though it's not my fault. Oh my God. So he says, I feel uncomfortable too when Summer does that stuff. And she's like all over me. And JC Lynn agrees. She's like, it's not your fault. So they hug and make up, but then they keep saying the same stuff over and over again. And I honestly thought that my feeds like glitched or something. But yeah, I don't know. That tension though is rising with that. I don't want to call them a throuple, but love triangle, I guess. And anyway, late last night, Herman made another campaign pitch to Gino and JC Lynn. And he says, I feel like I can still get the numbers. I had a really long conversation with Summer. I feel like I can get her, Josh, Moose, and then you guys. So he's like, I need 4 votes to stay, but I'd love to get 5. So he says the Showmance will be the reason that he stays or goes, right? Because they're a voting block of 2. So their vote counts for a lot. So Herman basically tells them, I am kind of like needing you guys to tell everybody what you're going to do because people are afraid of being on the wrong side of the vote. But that's usually what people say to you when they are not planning on keeping you and they just want you to like leave them alone about it. They're like, oh, I got to see what everyone else is doing. That means they're voting for you to go, usually. So Herman is going into his campaign pitch like, I want to go after Marty. I'm a big target. I can be a shield for you. He also says he's willing to go up on the block next to Marty so that it would be, less of a chance of Marty winning the power veto. And Herman says, I know for a fact that Summer will vote however you guys decide to vote because she's trying to like build something with you again. So Gino and JC Lynn are saying, oh, we still need to have our final conversations with people. We need to see where people stand. They're not planning on keeping Herman, but they don't want to tell him that yet. So Herman mentions he's considering just pulling all 5 of his potential voters into a room together in the morning to try and get some direct answers and be like, okay, how are you voting? How are you voting? How are you voting? I don't see that ending well. But anyway, this morning, Big Brother had a surprise for the house guests. The chains are back on the refrigerator and slap is back on the menu. So when the house guests woke up and discovered this, they were devastated, especially Josh. Josh walked in there and was just like, he really had a tough time with it last time. So they're pretty upset. They're wondering, like, are we in trouble? Is this punishment? Or I'm wondering if this is potentially setting them up for the Buzzkilled HOH competition that could be happening tonight. So that's the one that they've done in the past where everybody stands at their podium and they're just like waiting for Big Brother to give them a signal to press their buzzer. And the last person to press their buzzer is eliminated each round. So the fun thing about Buzzkilled is that we get to see on the screen when the next buzzer will be. But the house guests don't see that. So they're just like standing there waiting. And in the meantime, Big Brother offers up temptations like, I don't know, takeout or slot pass or an advantage, whatever, letter from home, all sorts of things. And house guests have to decide, am I going to leave my podium and risk not being here to push my buzzer, or am I just gonna stand here? So it's a very interesting competition to watch. It's a lot of fun. It seems like that's what they could be gearing up towards. I could be completely wrong, but that's what it feels like. So yeah, I don't know. That's my take on that. But I'm not sure if Herman ended up pulling his potential voters together, because the feeds went down like around 10 a.m. this morning, a little bit before 10 a.m. So we didn't get to see if he did that or not. But we did get to hear him practicing his eviction speech. And it sounds like he will be addressing Summer, Josh, Gino, JC Lynn, and Moose directly, like by name, and saying like, to the 5 house guests that matter. And he's going to talk about how he's not actually a car salesman. He's actually an exterminator. Nice Kyle jab there. And he's going to say that there's a snake in the house. The head of that snake is Marty. The body is Kevin and Helena. So he's planning on calling those 3 out big time. It should be an entertaining speech. We'll see what happens. Come on in. Yeah. Oh, Bowie.
Bowie put his big fat butt against the door.
Oh, as of this morning, Herman is still going to be leaving. I'm thinking it's either going to be 6-1 or possibly 7-0 if Moose decides, like, you know what, I'm just gonna go with the house.
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
really disappointing, because I was really hoping to shake it up by getting rid of Betty.
Well, I mean, maybe his meeting worked. I don't know.
We'll see.
You never know. But yeah, I think it's going to be a landslide for Herman to go. And then I want to know from everybody, who do you want to win this next HOH? You are so adorable.
Today is my gotcha day.
Yes, today is Bowie's adoptiversary. 3 years ago, you came home for the first time. Oh, he's such a sweetheart. Yes, you are. Oh, I remember I was in this room when I met him.
That's right.
I was on the exercise bike and you and Dad brought him in. I was like, oh my God.
He cried the whole way home.
Baby boy.
He said, why are you taking me from my family?
Stop. Don't say that. Oh my God. But anyway, I want to thank today's super chatter. So Broomstick, thank you so much. And Broomstick says, hey, it's Fexy Ass JJ. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Yes. Happy to finally catch a live. Do you think Kevin or Helena can recover from Marty showing their cards? Also, it's always awesome to see your spoiler and you and Janet's recaps. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I do think it's possible for Kevin and Helena to recover from this. I think
I feel like these people have short memories.
Yeah, this house has been so fluid this season. I think Marty will be the main person that people want to get revenge on. They want to get rid of him. And then I think Kevin especially will be able to sweet talk his way back into people's good graces.
Kevin's
Helena,
a devil in a snake and in a vest.
Yeah. I think
Love
Helena has the same chance to kind of get back in with everybody. I think they're very skilled at this game too, so they should be okay. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but
Helena, from being the clumsy person that we met in their bio, has really turned into quite a strategizing
She's
player.
definitely a gamer. She's not very good at these competitions, but
no,
she's a gamer for sure.
It's
impressive.
I underestimated her quite a bit.
Yeah. So
and I totally underestimated the Kevin brand.
Yeah. I just love that these two found each other and are working together. And I love that they're working with Josh too. But I don't think they're as loyal to Josh as they are to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah. So anyway, I ate my sandwich so fast before this.
Are you gonna puke?
It's like
Did you want to just scroll through the chat?
Sure. Yeah, that's right. At least Herman won $5,000 during that veto competition, right? Good for him.
Yeah. Unless he gets to stay, which I'm here for.
Yeah.
Eat it up with a spoon. A big one.
Do you think that the person that stays tonight will get to open a door? We haven't seen that in a long time. So
I'm gonna say there's a good possibility.
Yeah, Herman is really gonna be going in with this speech. So I think Marty's going to have a meltdown later tonight. You know how he reacts when somebody calls him out on a speech, that's going to be on the show.
And they're announcing jury tonight.
That's right. Yeah. That is correct. So I think the house guests are going to be pretty surprised by that because
Yeah.
they're under the impression that jury is starting next week. All right. So, oh, Jefferson Tucker, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for being here. You keep it up. But anyway, thank you all for being here today, especially with the earlier start time. But I figured feeds are down already for the day until after the show anyway, and I'm catching up with one of my best friends from college, so we're gonna have a little FaceTime, and yeah, we'll be back later for tonight's recap.
We'll meet back here at
whatever time the video goes up.
10-ish.
So we'll see you all then, and until next time, much love. Bye.